Hello everyone and welcome back to another video where we're going to be recapping the recent regional that had just happened this past weekend. At the time of recording this, Monday finished the regional yesterday, and yeah, we're going to be talking about it, watching some games, just whacking on one series of games today. I'm not going to be changing the games too much depending on the series I'm talking about, just watching this in the background and talking through all the games, all the different teams, our series, other teams' series, and things like that, but mainly about my team. Spoilers for this regional, of course. If you don't want to be spoiled, please click off the video, because yeah, lots of spoilers. Now, if you guys don't know how RLCS works, basically 16 teams qualify. You're two groups of 8, and you're basically fighting for mainly top 6 and top 8 in those groups, and then you move on to day 2 where you're fighting for top 4, and then you move on to or top 6 again, sorry, or top 4 in that day, and then you move on to day 3 where you're fighting for the entire regional. After 3 regionals, the team or the 4 teams with the most points qualify for the LAN, which is an in-person event. This time in my, well, not really hometown, but basically hometown, Birmingham. The closest I'd ever get to a LAN, basically like 30 minutes away from where I lived anyway, back in the day. All right, let's get into this. We finished second, which is absolutely fantastic. Perfectly, exactly what we needed this regional, and yeah, amazing result. So let's start off with how this one went. Right at the start of the regional, we play against NOMSTER. NOMSTER is a lower team. We finished 3-0 in the qualifier leading up to this regional. We got the first seed out of our Swiss stage, so we had a very, very nice first round, and very nice second round again. We've had some very, very fortunate first and second rounds in our first 2 regionals of this season, which is extremely nice. But we've capitalized on it when we needed to, and we've taken advantage of it, which is all we can do, you know, all we can do when we get nice brackets. But we played against NOMSTER, which is Shark, Jelly, and Rebmob. Rebmob, the kind of star of this team, if you want to call it that. One's player, lots of kind of, or the most fans on the team, most people who know who he is. In my opinion, Jelly played, you know, really well in our series against them. These guys a little closer than we thought. You know, we would play these guys. A little bit of nerves, a bit of shakiness going into the first kind of series, natural stuff, first series in RLCS of the regional. And we do take game 1 like something like 7-1 or something. But then we struggle a little bit. We drop game 2. We go to overtime in game 3, and then we close it out quite easily in game 4, I think. If I go to it, yeah, we finished it off. 7-3 in game 4. So all smooth in the end, and we move on to round number 2 against Save the Game. Save the Game is a French team. Not taking this rule 1 here. Zen and Exotic. I want to be involved in the 3s rather than the 2s. Almost scored straight away, so I'm sure people weren't happy about that in the background, but I remember that. All right, Save the Game is a French team, which is Extra, former world champion, Astral. Everyone knows Astral. Great player back in the day. Still is a very good player. And Mitsa. You guys, if you followed my off-season closely, Mitsa was, you know, kind of a target, a tryout, and was extremely, very close to teaming with him. So it was good to play him. Good to see him doing well. He played out of his mind in this series. He's a great player. I still have my, you know, eye on him to see what he can do in the future, and I really like him as a person. He's a great guy, so good to see him playing well. He was absolutely insane in this series, their best player by far. He was doing everything. He was really threatening on the ball, controlling everything perfectly, super solid in most situations. Yeah, just a really great series from him. We 3-1 saved the game. It was close. We go 1-1 in the games, and then we win game 3, we win game 4. Not much to say about this. We just played better when we needed to, and it was a close series, but nothing crazy, nothing to sweat over. And yeah, we finished them off and move on to top 6. So very nice kind of first day. When you get to this series, it doesn't really matter. Now, you know, what do I mean by that? This next series is just for seeding, which obviously matters, but it doesn't change anything. You know, if you win or lose, you're still in the same spot. It just changes who you play. we had that mentality kind of in the first regional, or at least I did a little bit. I didn't really like, you still wanting to win for confidence stuff, but it wasn't the end of the world. In this regional, we'd playing against KC. We'd already gotten top 6 in the first regional. We'd already got a top 6 now. I was like, we need to win this. We need to like fully focus. Don't need to win it, but we really need to fully focus and try and beat these guys to get a lot of confidence, because we haven't had a win against a top tier team yet in the season. So let's really focus. We got 3-1. It wasn't actually close. Unfortunately, these guys were way too good in this series. It was 4-1, 2-1. So I guess game 2 was close scoreline wise. Didn't really feel too close. These guys are playing out of their mind. And we do win game 3. Vitera DC'd, and we were actually up in the game when they DC'd. Sorry, let me switch replays. We were actually up in the game 2-1 when he DC'd, and I was like in the comms. I was like kind of like half like not playing, because I was like, I know they DC, like we should just pause, but they carried on playing. They actually scored on us 2v3 to tie it up, and then we were like, the rules basically state, because they're basically to kind of give context, there are no admins in day 1 of RLCS, which is completely stupid, by the way. They never used to do this, but they do it now. Who knows why? They are looking into it and maybe changing it, but it is stupid. So you have to play on when someone DCs. And so we just played on. We obviously scored and then just won the game 2v3. It's just stupid. And yeah, we take the game. You know, would we have won? We were up in the game. I think we would have won that game. We were 2-1, pretty comfortable. You know, I'm sure Casey have their difference of opinion in that. So, but it doesn't change the ending of the series, and it doesn't change anything too much. It wasn't very close. They kind of annihilated us in the last game. Scoreline, it wasn't crazy. It was, I think, 2-0 if my memory serves me right. Let me see. It was 2-1. 2-1 the last game. So again, a 1-goal game, but the pressure they have, they're very suffocating. They're very tough to play, and they're the best team in the world right now, so nothing crazy. We end up losing to KC, and we do move on to play against NIP in the kind of top 4 match. So we're still in the same spot as if we won. You know, we would have actually just played Vitality if we won against KC. Would I prefer to play Vitality or NIP? I'd prefer to play NIP, so it's actually better that we lost against KC, which is why the seeded matches are a little strange. Really quickly, the format actually doesn't make sense, because you can throw. You can see what matchups you prefer to have, and teams can decide whether it's better to win or lose. I don't think anyone actually does that, but when there's a format that genuinely you can do that with, it's a little strange. So I'm pretty sure one group starts their match earlier as well, which makes the issue bigger for that. You know, if you were like, if at least both series started at the same time, you might not be able to do that. But I'm pretty sure at least in the early rounds they start sooner. A little strange, but no team actually does that. We didn't do that. We ended up losing, and we get a better matchup because of it against Ninjas in Pajamas. Ninjas are a great team, but like we weren't like, you know, afraid. The only team we were afraid of going into the regional, like not afraid of, but just like, you know, when you play them, you know you're like the underdog kind of thing is against KC in our eyes. And NIP was a nice matchup. We end up 4-2ing them. We lose the first game. We actually had a lot of pressure in that game. I thought we were playing pretty well, and we ended up losing 3-1 though. But we ended up taking the next 2 games 3-1 and 2-1. They take a timeout. They win the next game 2-0, which I actually, again, it sounds like I'm like, we should have just won every game, but we had so much pressure in that game. It was insane. I should have put that game on in the background to show what I mean. We were hammering the goal, like basically the post. We were just missing our chances, but we had insane pressure. Played that game really well, but ended up losing 2-0 in the last few seconds of the game, conceding the next goal, but or the last goal, sorry. But we ended up taking game 5 in an important overtime, and game 6 3-2. So some really nice stuff. I thought we played well. I'm pretty sure people were saying it was a messy series. I actually personally didn't think it was crazy like messy. I've also had series where I thought it was awful, and people go, that was one of the best series I've ever seen. So I'm not sure. You know, you never know when you're playing or watching what it looks like. But I thought it was decent. We played at least decent in our eyes, and we take it 4-2 and move on to top 4, which was a really, really, really big win. Getting the top 4 is insane, basically, for points for getting the major, because there's only 4 teams that make the major. So getting top fours is really important. So we've kind of done what we needed to do at the bare minimum for this regional at this stage. That's obviously not the mentality you have. You're wanting to go the entire way, or at least as far as you can. And we match up against Vitality in our next round. We're getting a perfect bracket because we're just avoiding KC. You know, that's all that teams are having to do basically to the finals. So we're avoiding KC, which is exactly what we need, at least at this stage. And we play Vitality, which in our eyes we're confident against. We end up 4-2ing them. We take the first 2 games actually, which is the games you guys are watching on screen right now. Game 1 and now game 2. We win both these games 3-1, and they do respond a little bit. I say a little bit. They actually Braziled us in the following game 7-1. A little bit of maybe, you know, just kind of lack of composure from us and good plays by them, but just a little bit of poorness, I guess, from us. You'd say that in every game you lose, though. So, you know, 7-1. We win the following game 2-1. We were losing that game for the majority of it. I'll actually whack that. I'll whack the last game on now because we'll talk about that game and move over quickly to the finals after. But let me change this replay because we basically finished this game off nice and easy, just kind of defending and challenging, and 3-1. So we'll move on to the last game of this series because this one's a crazy game, and we'll watch that whilst we talk about it. So we do win game. What was I saying? We win game 4 to send us up 3-1 in the series, and we win that in overtime. We were actually down in most of that game for the majority. We tie it up with a nice edge or bump pass. I edge or bump pass over to Stizzy. 30 seconds left, he scores, and we score in overtime straight off the kickoff, basically 20 seconds in, just a little bit of pressure. So some good stuff all around, a good comeback, and we kind of snag that game from them, I guess, and which is nice to be able to do. You know, you don't have to win every game cleanly. Sometimes it's really nice to just win these games that you kind of scam away from them, which is good for morale, you know, having those kind of wins. So that was nice, and we 3-1 in the series. We lose the following game again, a little bit of a theme. You know, we lose 5-2. When we lose games in this series, we lost them pretty badly, 7-1 and 5-2, which to me shows nothing. You know, you can spin whatever narrative you want in your mind, whichever way. You could say that's really bad, that when you lose badly, but in my mind, it's like, I don't mind it because it just shows that maybe in the moment we panicked a little bit. You know, when goals went in, they just kind of kept going in. We couldn't stop it. It doesn't show that you're getting outclassed. It's just you're throwing the game away, which is kind of, sometimes that's nice, sometimes that's not nice. Again, whichever way you wanna show it. But we do lose that game, and then we take the last game 3-2 in overtime, which we'll watch and we'll talk about now, and we'll talk about the finals whilst we watch this in the background, because I don't have too much to say about the finals. We'll go over that in a second. But yeah, in this last game, a lot of, you know, a few nerves, I guess. Actually, I didn't mean to even start talking about it at this, but I will switch to the POV. We won the series, so it's fine. Bit of an open net miss. We a little bit panicky in certain moments in this game. You're just getting closer to getting a really important win. Making the finals is insane. You get a lot of points for second. The jump between 4th and 2nd is 3 points, and the jump between 6th and 4th is 2 points. Okay, so you see the difference because, for example, you know, it's just insane. The difference between 3 and 2 points is a lot basically in this type of format. So making this finals was huge for us. So a bit of nerves going into this last game, getting closer and closer to finishing it off. But Yoris, this is an open net, scores that, which is ridiculous and gives us the momentum we need. An absolute insane shot, and straight off the kickoff, I die and just watch my teammates absolutely cook them. Stizzy just goes for an insane double tap. This was a really, really nuts goal. Stizzy getting a lot of... I actually don't look at social media at all anymore, like at all. I don't see anything, which is kind of nice. But I don't see good comments, I don't see bad comments. But I heard Stizzy was getting a lot of hate from the first regional, you know. I got asked about it a lot in my quick chat, in my Twitch chat. Sorry, Jesus, my quick chat, my Twitch chat. I backed him the entire way, and of course it's easy to say that now when he's playing insane, but I did. You know, this guy's a great player. I don't think he played insanely badly in the first regional. Maybe he played slightly worse than his level, but nothing insane. You know, he just played maybe a little panicky in the last series, nothing crazy. And we fixed a lot. We worked really, really hard, and he's playing insane. And yeah, this guy's a great player, and he shows it with that double tap. But yeah, he's doing really well. The team's doing really well. We improved a ton over the last few weeks. We weren't happy with the loss against 100% in the first regional. They played insane, and they're still playing insane. Shout out to them. Absolutely surprising, like everyone, which is cool to see. A new team, new kind of bunch of players at the top level. But we weren't happy with that loss, and you know, we worked really, really hard, changed our play style completely, and you know, everyone believed and Stizzy believed, which is hard sometimes when you're getting a lot of hate. So yeah, I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him to be able to kind of bounce back from what I believe you know, was some rough comments. We'll move into the overtime. This overtime I didn't actually play too great in, but Stizzy was a beast, which I have talked about enough. So we'll see him pop off 3 minutes into this overtime. But we'll go on to the grand finals. We obviously win the series off a really nice shot, which we'll see in a second or in a few minutes. We'll go on to the grand finals. Grand finals against KC. We're really confident, which is easy to say, you know, but we were. We know that KC are the best. You know, there's no denying that. But you still have faith in yourself to be able to win when it matters. You have to, else you won't have a chance. Or very rarely have a chance. So we were confident, and we started off the game pretty well. They started off the grand final pretty well. We took the first goal, and they tied it up, and then kind of just ran away with it in the first couple of games. Wasn't too close. It was 4-2 and 3-0 in the first two games. We took a timeout and made the next game 5-4. But that wasn't close. Only at the end was it close. It was 5-0 actually, and we started bringing it back. I think it was 5-0, and we started bringing it back. So it was close towards the end, but they were really strong, and we did lose the last game 2-1, which was close. We could have took that. They scored a really, really nice pass and play to end the tournament off in the last kind of minute of the game, I think, and they were too good. Nothing crazy, you know, nothing crazy. They were too good right now, and that's all it is. There's lots of improvements to be made still, you know, for the team, and things to work on. They're not out of reach, but they were for this tournament, you know, and that's all it is. You know, if we can make a similar level of improvement from the first regional compared to this one, from this regional compared to the next one, then maybe we can compete with them, and we'll try and, you know, do that. I've had teams where this happens, you know, a lot where, or not a lot, but yeah, a lot actually. This has happened the last 2 seasons now, where, you know, for like kind of when I first joined Gen G with Chronic and Nolly, we were getting abused by FaZe basically, and, you know, improved a lot and worked really hard and got better than them, and started beating them. Last season we never got better than G2, but we started beating them. You know, we started learning how to play against them after getting annihilated by them the first couple of times. So I've had teams where you kind of second best and learn to play the first guys, and we finished second in this tournament, and maybe we can learn to play these first guys a little bit better. But right now they were insane, you know, nothing crazy. They're ridiculous. It's cool to watch, horrible to play, and cool to learn from. You know, there's a lot of things that these guys are doing great that a lot of teams are learning from right now, and us included. And yeah, that's all there is to it. You know, we couldn't do much more in the finals. We didn't play our game, but that's the thing. KC make you not play your game. They make you not play your best individually. They make you not play your best as a team. You overthink a lot, you know, because you're worried a lot, you know, about how they play. So, you know, we'll just have to learn from that and get better. Stizzy, first touch, pass 1. Second touch, pass 2. Bump onto the last guy, sends us to the grand finals. Lovely stuff. we'll watch it from his perspective. First touch sends Monkey. Obviously, Monkey's just going for the bump. He's just going for the bump on Stizzy, but he breaks. Stizzy breaks, lets him go for the bump forward, and he obviously flies over him. And then last two guys are on low boost, so it's a nice position. He just has to delay kind of that second touch, as you guys can see. First touch to set up all the kind of possibilities, the reset, the edge dribble that he actually ends up doing. Everything, the edge urban pass they could be worried about. I don't think any of us were near him for the edge urban pass. Yeah, a little too far away, but maybe some worries still in the defense. And he has all the options, just delays that second touch until he sees the guy, the first guy jump, and then uses the boost he saved for the last bump. He goes crazy in the cameras. He goes absolutely crazy in the cameras. He dances. He pulls out some emotes on them. He's a funny guy, you know. I think he'll have a lot of fans and a lot of people that aren't fans of him, you know, with how he acts. He's funny, man. Hopefully you guys like him and learn to enjoy him, because I think he's a great player, and I think he'll be around at a top level for a good amount of time. So yeah, we finished second in this tournament. The team's insane. I'm really happy with you guys. Work ethic is great. We just have to keep on working hard and not get too comfortable, not get too worried or scared about anything, and just keep playing every tournament, every game for practice, because that's all it is really. In my eyes, every game is practice, you know. Just constantly trying to learn. So we'll keep that mindset and hopefully go again and try and maybe improve on a second place. That'd be nice, you know. That'd be all we can ask for, really. But hopefully we can replicate a similar result at least and qualify for Birmingham. That's obviously the goal. And if we don't, then it's all down to us. It's on us at the end of the day, and we learn from it and then go again next time. But we'll leave it there. Third regional is coming up in a few weeks, 3 weeks to be exact, or 2 weeks until the qualifier, then 3 weeks till the main event. Hopefully we qualify. And yeah, I'll leave it there. Boys, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, drop a sub to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next... Oh, sorry, I forgot to talk about other teams. How do I think other teams did? I don't know. Leave a comment. Leave some comments about teams you want me to talk about. I'll look at the top comment and I'll talk about them in maybe the next kind of RLCS video I do. All right, I'll see you guys later. Take care.